So if you've seen the pictures of this sort of mayhem going on in my shop, it's because I bought a new bandsaw from Laguna. It's the Italian-made LT18 bandsaw. Now I'll do a video of it later after I get a little bit more familiar with it. I'm really liking it so far, but of course, you know, it's only been a week and I haven't done a lot of big projects. The Mahogany Vanity, actually, I'll be doing a lot of resawing for that as well. So we'll get a chance to put it through some paces before I do a video. Now, what I want to do today is to describe something that when I was looking for the different bandsaws, comparing different models and such, I got in contact with a guy on a forum who has the Italian-made LT18, and one of the things that Scott recommended to me are these CarryMaster casters. Now, I remember seeing these a long time ago, and then they kind of fell off the radar. So I recognized the name and kind of vaguely remembered how they worked, and when he talked to me about it more, it actually seemed like it'd be perfect for my situation. The situation is that with the LT18, I can't use the mobility kit. It's a J-hook that hooks onto the side. Well, because of a little concrete step here that's in my shop and where the bandsaw is located, I would never be able to get the hook into place to move it. So he recommended using these instead. What's nice about these casters, now this model here that I bought have the flange top, the square flange top. There's also a post top where it's just going to be a threaded rod. Those are actually already on the bandsaw, and I'll take some video of that later to show you. But the benefit of this caster is, as you can see, there's a foot on it. So this is not moving. But there's also a big knob here in the front that you can spin this, and you're lowering it now down until the wheel enables. So if this was on something, well, now the wheel would be enabled and it moves around. So that 510-pound bandsaw, actually, with the 4 CarryMaster casters, moves very, very easily, even over some of the control joints in my garage here with no problem at all. And it was absolutely trivial to spin the knob with one finger to get it to engage the foot. So I was very surprised that as much weight as is on this caster, it's very easy to turn it and to lower that foot and raise it up. So why am I talking about it today? Partly because I think these would be a great solution for a lot of people. And for me, I bought this extra set because I want to put it on this assembly table. My assembly table, I sort of made a beefed up toe kick area on the bottom, and I put a mobile base kit that comes from Jet. It's actually one that's intended to be used for jointers, so it has the 2 plates that squeeze the sides. So in a sense, I have all 4 corners on wheels. Now that's fine when you want to move it, but sometimes when you're carrying something heavy and you lean on this a little bit, the table will move. It actually moves fairly often. I'm so used to it now I don't even count how many times in a week. So I'm looking forward to using these on it instead, which is why I bought the flange top so that I could screw it into the base. And I'll be able to move the table easily when I need to move it, but then also I'll be able to make it stationary and level, which is something I've never had before with this assembly table. So it's 98 degrees in my garage right now and rising. It started at 92 when I started filming this thing. So it's definitely black shirt weather. So in removing this base, you'll see how this attaches and how it normally goes on, say, a jointer. Normally this slides on and it'll grab that bottom lip of a jointer stand. So the way I'm going to attach this CarryMaster, because of the flange with the 4 holes, is I'm going to put it right here on this corner. So there'll be 2 going deep into this red oak, 1 going into the side of this plywood. The other one is actually going to be sort of suspended out here in the open. And since I didn't have this built, I have this built already, and it's too hard to take it all apart just to give it better support for this. What I'm going to opt to do is I'm just going to take a piece of wood, cut it to the right length, so it'll act as a standoff from this base, which is actually all dadoed in to the rest of this, so it's pretty strong. And this will be screwed into it. So all it needs to do is prevent this foot from wanting to tip in. Now, normally when it's parked in place and I have it on the foot, the force is going to be directed right up through here anyway, so I don't really care. It's not like this is holding everything, and it'll be more than stable. So after I set this up and leveled it, I decided that I wanted to move it back a little bit more because of some things I'm putting back there. Whatever, it's just that change of mind thing. But I thought this was worth showing, and now I have it back on the wheels, and look how easy it is to move this. I mean, it's literally no effort. This top here is made as a torsion box, and it's actually made out of a sheet and 3/4 of 3/4 inch MDF. So that's got a lot of weight on its own, besides the 8/4 purple heart on the side and everything else. So this is not light, yet it moves around with, you know, a couple finger push. So I think these things really work well. So one other thing I wanted to mention were the ratings on these. This model is the AC300. Now the AC300 means each caster is rated for 300 pounds. Now for this assembly table, that means this is way more than I need. The actual total weight is 1296 is what it's rated for, because even though they're AC300s, they're actually rated for a little bit more than 300 pounds a piece. So when I got them for the bandsaw, I got actually AC300s as well, because I figured that when you're putting it into place, you're going to be sometimes putting it down on just 2 casters. So I wanted to make sure that 2 was going to be able to handle the 510 pounds of the bandsaw. So the AC300s were basically the lowest rated ones that I could get. Now, I might have done better by getting AC600s, which is the next step up. But no, the ratings are all over the scale. You can get some actually down. AC60s are available, all the way up to, I believe there's even AC800s or something like that. So they're a lot of insanely strong casters, and they all seem to work as easily as this. This is just fantastic.